Hello, slimy fertilers. Been a while since I sat down and had a natter to the camera. I'd just like to thank YouTube user Mike Watson, somebody who I've never met, don't know at all, don't know him from Adam, for sticking a comment on the last video I did, which was back in December last year, when I played World of Tanks for a bit. Just asking me if I was okay. I won't use the word okay, but yes, I am still alive, unfortunately. So it's now nearly, well, getting on towards the end of February. Have I done anything exciting? Not particularly. No, we had Christmas. Christmas wasn't anything out of the ordinary, just Christmas basically. Spent just basically at home, and then Christmas Day, well, I was ill. Christmas Day was alright, but I started feeling ill on Christmas Day, and then I don't remember Boxing Day at all, although Mum told me that, that basically I spent most of the day in bed. I came downstairs sort of late afternoon time, had some dinner, went and got back in bed, and then got up the day after. I do remember getting up the day after, because when I got up the day after I thought it was Boxing Day, so I lost an entire day. I literally don't remember anything about it at all. New Year was just the same. I didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. Pretty sad really, but yeah. January, nothing really of interest. The only thing that came up was I had to have a had to go for an assessment with the DWP for my eligibility to keep ESA, or was it education and support allowance or something like that. I don't know what it means, but despite the fact that I've got a letter from them saying due to my conditions I've got ESA for life, they still insist on you coming in and having assessments for some reason, I don't know. I went to that assessment and got a letter 2 weeks after the assessment saying that yes, I was still eligible to be claiming ESA, because my conditions are never going to get any better, they're only going to get worse, which is great. The strange thing is though, I still can't get PIP, personal independence payment, because according to them my disabilities don't affect my life at all. There's nothing wrong with me, you know, whatever I did have I'm now cured of and all shit like that. I'm going to go for PIP again. This time I'm not going to take any bullshit off them. I said that last time, and I ended up just fucking rolling over and letting them piss on me. I'm not going to have that again. It's like I say, it's ridiculous when, you know, they're just finding whatever ways they can to stop people getting money that they're entitled to. They'd quite happily give money out to people, but those that actually need it and those that are actually, you know, fully entitled to it don't get it, because you know, they try and find the most abstract and tenuous reasons whatsoever. I mean, my last the last PIP assessment I went to in about June, July last year, they basically turned around and told me that just because I'd managed to turn up for the appointment that I was not entitled to PIP, because what was their thing? The woman asked me a question. She said, if you attempt to walk, how far can you walk before you're in pain? And my answer was, well, zero, distance zero, because I'm in constant pain. And then she replied by saying, well, you managed to make it here, didn't you? And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, if I don't turn up, you say that I didn't turn up for the assessment, so I get turned down. I turn up for the assessment, so you say I turned up for the assessment, so I get turned down. It's that it's that ridiculous. So that's something I need to look into doing and doing properly. I did put in an appeal for, you know, mandatory reconsideration, but just basically got a letter telling me that they trusted the assessor's judgment more than they did my GP's. They even declined to contact my GP for information about my conditions and how they affect me. They, well, didn't decline, they actually refused to do it. So the GP would have told them that basically yes, his you know, his conditions do affect his life and are a severe detriment to his quality of life. And then they'd have to try and argue away at that, which they're not going to do, so they'll just take the easy way out and accept the word of somebody who's never met me before and will never meet me again, who just basically made up 5 pages of lies about me. They'd rather accept that so that they don't have to give away money than somebody who knows what they're talking about. But yeah, so I went for that one, so that's a milestone. Well, I won't say a milestone, that's a hurdle that's been jumped over. Speaking of Christmas, I'll just show you some bits of what I got for Christmas. If you can see on that shelf there, I don't know whether you can make it out, a Batmobile from Batman the Animated Series. Nice present. My mum bought me that, and gold. See if I can angle around here. I'm on the cable at the minute because my battery needs charging on my phone. Up there we have a Italeri 172 scale B52 Stratofortress. No, not Stratofortress. Yeah, Stratofortress. B52 Flying Fortress. Oh, something, I don't know, Fortress of some division, I don't fucking know. I'm second guessing myself now, sorry about that. But yeah, that took me about a month and a half to build and paint. I'll come on to modelling related stuff in a bit. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. It's an absolute monster up there with all my other planes and that. It's so heavy that rather than using normal push pins I used to attach things up there, I had to screw a hook into the ceiling, and I had to use quite thick, extra strong fishing line to mount it, because the weight it is when it's fully built and everything is just too much for the fishing line I was using, and definitely too much for the push pins. I tried a couple of different ways using push pins, you know, having like one on each side for the wings and then one to support the main body, but it just didn't work. It was just pulling them out the ceiling, so I had to screw a hook in, and after I'd done that, I have like a little step ladder thing which I can use to get up there, you know, so I don't have to reach my arms up or anything like that, because I can't get my arms up much. I get to about there, so it means I can't do a Heil Hitler anymore. We'll talk about that in some point as well. Yeah, so I did that. What else did I get? Got a few bits. A friend of mine, like I say, the video I did, the unboxing video I did sort of, I don't know, about October, November time. My friend Adam sent me a box full of stuff. He actually came to see me. He sent me another box of stuff. Yeah, just see if I can angle this round. Sent me another box of stuff. Up there we can see a Black Widow, P-61 Black Widow, Recon Night Fighter plane. He sent me that. He also sent me this one up here, which is a Heinkel HE something or other, I forgot what it is, German heavy bomber. Sent me those, so I built and did those just before Christmas. And he came again. He came to see me in between Christmas and New Year, and he brought me a Battle of Britain Memorial Flight Collection box. He gave me that. Airfix one. The actual planes are built and painted, and they're up with my, you know, sort of cloud of fighters that I've got. I won't show you them because it's hard to pick them out, because I've got that many fighters up there at the moment. You know, sort of World War II era fighter aircraft in a big clump. I've tried to section off the bits, like this bit over here is for sort of World War II era fighter aircraft, and the middle bit is for sort of bombers and ground attack aircraft, and you know, sort of stuff from the war years. A lot of very experimental stuff as well on there. And then over in the other corner we've got sort of Cold War stuff, Cold War to modern era stuff, and then over the other side of the room we've got the 144 scale things, such as the Concorde and the Tupolev Tu-144 space shuttle, B-1 bomber. I was going to mount my Saturn V rocket up there as well, but I haven't. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it up, you know, sort of flying in the air without, you know, a lot of problems with it either coming apart or you know, pulling the things out of the ceiling. So it's on top of my shelves at the moment with Buzz Lightyear stood guarding it. So yeah, I on the sort of video games front, I haven't done anything. I haven't bought any new video games because there's just nothing. I mean, I've still only got an Xbox 360. I can't really afford new release titles, and for some reason, every time I do go into, you know, sort of game shops and look at their second-hand sections, there's less and less there that tickle my fancy. There's a hell of a lot of, you know, sports games, you know, like your FIFA and stuff like that. I don't like sports games as a general rule. But it's basically when the new edition of FIFA comes out, then people immediately get rid of their old edition and upgrade to the new one. There's loads and loads of stuff like that, but you know, I'm not interested in any of them. So I haven't got any new video games. I've been playing through, doing playthroughs of some of the older stuff that I've got. You know, just to finish off what achievements you can get and stuff like that. I haven't played World of Tanks for a while because I just got bored of it. The only other thing I've been getting, sort of like new games wise, is just getting the stuff off, you know, the free with gold kind of thing. You know, there's not been much on there really. It's decent. I mean, I got was it Burnout something when that was free. I've just downloaded was it Star Wars Force Unleashed. I've no particular interest in Star Wars. You know, I did watch the Star Wars Episode 7, whatever it is, Return of the Sith or something like that, Revenge of the Sith or whatever. Didn't think much to it. I haven't bothered watching Rogue One because it's like I say, I've just lost interest in Star Wars in general. On the sort of wargaming and card gaming front, haven't really done much wargaming. I've basically done a basic British Army for bolt action, got all that painted up and stuff. There's a few more little bits I'd like to add to it. The problem is I haven't been able to go play any games because the shop I used to go in, that you know, that was regular for playing both Yu-Gi-Oh and bolt action and stuff, has more or less closed down. He still opens on a Wednesday evenings for Games Club, but the problem is it's just being able to get there and get back, if you know what I mean, which I can't do unfortunately due to both my conditions and finances. I really don't get out half as much as what I would like to anymore. I can't go places because I've had a fair few problems with. Just have to. There we go. Ooh, yeah, that's a bugger. Yeah, we can't sit for too long. I haven't been able to get out anywhere and then get back. I've been having a few problems with my kind of panic, anxiety, and verbal tics and stuff like that when we go out whenever I go out anywhere. So it's just a pain getting out anymore, and I try and do what I can, but there's only so much you can do before it's just like, you know, I can't do it anymore kind of thing. I did go into town yesterday to play a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh at one of the other places. I don't know that many people that go there, to be honest. I'm not really a regular at that place, so I don't really know anybody. I didn't take my medication though before I went out, so I'm paying for it today. I'm in lots of pain, and I actually feel like shit. It's the worst I've felt for a long time. But I did play a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's like I say, it's so long since I last played Yu-Gi-Oh properly. Even though I've got a deck that I've spent ages building up and everything like that, I just forgot how to play it. I wasn't thinking properly, and I ended up doing spectacularly badly. So I'm at the point where I'm giving serious consideration to giving up playing, you know, card games again, because although there are places that you can go, I don't feel welcome there. If you know what I mean, I don't particularly feel welcome there, and that's one of the things. I have to feel comfortable somewhere before I can start going there regularly. And although the shop it's a nice shop, they've got bits and bobs in to cater for just about everybody. I don't know. There's something about the atmosphere. There's something that just doesn't sit quite right with me. Whether this changes over time, is something we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know whether it was because I wasn't feeling too good yesterday. But yesterday I just got the distinct impression that because I wasn't a regular face there, I wasn't particularly welcome. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. That could just be me paranoid, and it probably is. Unfortunately, that's the way the old mind works. I haven't done any videos since December because I just quite frankly haven't felt like doing any. I do have ideas for stuff. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. But when it comes down to actually sitting in front of a camera and talking about them, I kind of go off the idea of doing it. I don't know why. The problem is a lot of the things I want to talk about need me to be able to maintain concentration on a particular topic, and that's something I'm finding increasingly difficult to do, is maintaining concentration without long pauses while I try and think about what I'm saying, while I try to remain on a cohesive point. And this isn't something that's just affected me with making videos and talking about topics and stuff. It's starting to affect me with everything. Like I said, when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was losing concentration, forgetting how to play my own deck, forgetting to play how to play the game in general. I was forgetting bits and bobs. With regards to model making, it's becoming difficult to sit and focus on it. It's becoming harder and harder. When I'm trying to paint, and then I'll start doing something and then either forget or just suddenly go off what I'm doing. For example, this is one of the gifts that my friend Adam gave me. It's a UFO, and the idea was I was going to make a kind of like a little diorama thing with a UFO and some aliens and something, incorporating this UFO model. It's a lovely model. The model of a triangular sort of style UFO. I was gonna overextended my arm. Pain, shoulder. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. What was I in? Yeah, I was gonna make a like a diorama thing. The problem is it's just when I'm sitting down to do it, and I'm just losing concentration, losing inspiration. It's just getting difficult. I've noticed I've lost interest in a hell of a lot of things I like doing. I don't read much anymore because I kind of struggle to read any things at length, any books at length. It's like I say, I'm struggling to start doing the model making, the painting. I'm struggling playing my favourite children's card game. I'm struggling with being able to face going out to play bolt action. I'm just struggling to face the world. That's the problem. And it's like I say, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. There's some other things going off in the background that I don't particularly want to talk about. It's just getting harder and harder to get by day by day. So I don't know, but I might have a go at making some more videos again. That's one of the ways that I started off last time. I was really bad with the depression and the anxiety and everything. I made videos, and it sort of allowed me a kind of controlled way of exposing myself to the world. It worked before, it might work again, I don't know. It's just like I say, I'm struggling for things to make videos on. For example, I might do a video with a deck profile of my latest iteration of the Dark Magician deck, which is, like I say, is the deck I've spent a long time putting together. It's not like a massively competitive deck in the current Yu-Gi-Oh form. I mean, for example, there's a whole new set come out. I forgot what it's called, Raging something or other, Raging Flame or something like that. I don't know what it is. I was supposed to go. I was thinking about going to the pre-release event for it, the sneak peek event as they call them. I ended up not going because I got up that morning and I just couldn't face it. So I have no idea what cards are in the set, if there's anything I want to do with the set. I did buy a couple of packs yesterday just to see what they were, and there wasn't anything particularly inspiring in the in the packs that I got. So I don't know. I know there's a new archetype being introduced in there. Everybody's kind of getting all excited over those. It's Zodiac creatures or something. I don't know. One of the guys I played against yesterday had a Zodiac deck, and like, I don't know, he was putting things down and putting things down and exceasing and then detaching and summoning and exceasing again and stuff like that. I don't know what was going off, but I mean, he managed to, fucking hand my arse to me, and I didn't even know what he was doing. So, I'm that far behind with plays because I don't get to play regular anymore. I can't develop ideas and stuff like that. I can't know what my opponent's going to do, which is a bit of a buggering. Mind you, it's only the same as when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. I got no idea about what games were being played or formats or anything like that. And it's been that long since I played. I haven't seen any kind of evolution within the game. I'm still at the kind of Shining Victories, Dark Illusion play style. I haven't seen much else going on. I do like that the movie pack things have come out now properly. The boxes with packs in from cards that are either in the movie or whatever. There's a lot of cards in that set that I do like, and I've incorporated into some of the decks that I play. Particularly the Dark Magicians. Speaking of Dark Magicians, we've got Digicon coming up next weekend, Digicon 3. I've said I will help like I've done at the last two. I'm just going to be a bit pensive about what I can actually do while I'm there, because last year I went and said I would help out, and I ended up being next to useless because I hurt myself while we were there. Spent the rest of the day in a lot of pain and staggering around, not being terribly useful to anybody. But the thing is, I wanted to go to Digicon anyway because there's Dan Green and Eric Stewart, the voices of Yugi and Kaiba, making their first appearance at a UK convention together, or is it a UK convention at all? But yes, I'm looking quite forward to that because I'd quite like to get the movie cards, Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician signed by them. I was going to get a Kaiba Man signed by Eric Stewart, because it's like I say, it's Kaiba Man is Kaiba. He does the voice of Kaiba, and he is, Kaiba Man is basically Kaiba. But then I thought, no, I'll just get Blue Eyes signed, and then I can stick it up on the wall with the other, famous people's autographs and stuff I've got. Where I know. But yeah, I'm living a very humdrum existence at the moment. I very rarely venture out anymore. I spend most of my time now either sat or laid in bed taking painkillers. So, life of adventure, other people's lives are moving on and everything like that, and I'm spending my entire life laid in bed. There's a couple of people who keep in touch with me, but other than that, the only other times I seem to hear from other people is when they want something off me. Even when you go out of your way to try and spread a little love in the world and a little bit of happiness and stuff like that, that gets thrown back in my face. So I try and help people, do things for people, and just get treated like shit. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to finish this one here. I might do a video later on with the Dark Magician build, or my current Dark Magician deck, which played weird. So I will see you later at at whatever time I decide to do a video. Thank you for watching this long, unfocused ramble, which I mostly talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks a lot, and I'll see you around.